Hello, my name is Rachel Anise, otherwise known as the Beauty Professor. Welcome back to my channel. I was thinking about the best way for me to share my suggestions for the Sephora sale. I've shared some on Instagram already and on my LTK, and I shot a bunch of content for Beauty Professor, my website, but I thought that the best way to really communicate the products that I am recommending would be via video on my channel here. So I will have swatches and static images of many of the things that I'm discussing today on Beauty Professor. We'll make sure to link to that below. Always know there's generally a companion post there, but I will be able to go into greater depth, I think, and really infuse the feeling that I have about each of these products here in this video. I would like to point out that everything on my face right now is something that I am mentioning today. When I get to areas where something on my face is also something I'm discussing, I will make sure to indicate that so you can see it in action. Let's start with foundation because that is perennially one of my favorite topics and favorite product verticals ever. And I've whittled down the foundation recommendations to exactly 4. The first is this Laura Mercier Real Flawless Foundation. That's something I've been testing this week. I'm actually wearing it right now, 2 pumps, and I didn't even use a brush. I just used my fingertips to apply, and this is in the shade 3N1. I have 3 shades on hand and I have them swatched on Beauty Professor just to give you some context, and it does come in a really vast shade range. It's lightweight, it almost feels like a serum on the skin, and you get good light to light medium coverage, which is generally the vein in which I land these days. Next is the Bosma, the stick foundation, and my best match is either 021 or 020. I have a whole reel on how I like to apply this foundation in my shorts area, so I will link to that. But it's really, I think, a very high performance portable foundation. It comes in this great magnetic bullet like this. As a cream foundation goes, it's hydrating, but it doesn't leave your skin looking greasy. It really resists creasing and it lasts the whole day. I typically apply it over primer and with a beauty blender or beauty sponge. Next is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin. This is not a new product, but one I've been talking about for nearly a year now since its launch. I wear 4 and 5 and sometimes a mixture of the two. This is great for like no makeup days where you just want to even out your complexion and blur out pores a little bit. It does create this kind of suspended smoothing texture over the skin, so you look really refined but natural, and it does have a texture unlike anything else in the base product category. I think I like it. I think it's a really interesting, innovative product. It has a natural finish that's neither dewy nor matte. And then this is one of my favorite discoveries as of late. This is the Lawless Perfecting Powder. It's talc free. I get questions all the time about talc free powder recommendations, and I'm so happy to say this is the one. It comes in a myriad of shades. I have swatches incidentally of all shades on Beauty Professor, so linking below, but I wear either medium or tan, and I just have tan here for reference for you. This powder can be worn alone as a powder foundation, or as I like to do it, I usually pat it into the center of my face after a light base. It has been my go-to powder in my handbag, so it's the only one I've been carrying around, and it is just gorgeous. I'm going to tap a little bit in with my finger. It does come with a sponge. With my finger here, I'll just show you how if you just tap it in, wow, it blurs pores, it mattifies, but it leaves your skin looking multi-dimensional still. I am very impressed by this. I think it's such a gorgeous texture, and it's something that I can envision myself wearing all spring and summer long. Highly recommended. For brows, I'm wearing the Grande Brow Laminate. This is a brow styling gel. It has peptides in it for extra brow support, and there's also a bent spoolie brush with an angled tip on the other side. I just go in like this and then I just bring it through. This really gives you that laminated hold, but no flakiness, no residue. It's completely transparent or clear, and it really does hold the brows in place. I'm very much pleased with this. I've had it on since early this morning, and I feel like my brows are still really fresh and lifted. You guys know I'm a fan of Grande in general, and this is Should be making an appearance on the Sephora site very, very soon. It says coming soon, so I hope you guys are able to grab it during the sale. Two products that are kind of complexion oriented, but not specifically imparting any color. The first is this Caliray Surf Proof Setting Spray. I've really been enjoying this lately. It is a great way to set your makeup, but it also kind of leaves you with a soft focus finish. So I've been keeping it on my bathroom sink, my laboratory, if you will, and I've been reaching for it, especially on long teaching days, because I feel like it just does a great job of keeping my makeup, whatever I'm wearing, in place. It's a super fine mist as well. Has an excellent ingredients profile, and it does smell vaguely of coconut, just to note that, but it's not overpowering or cloying. Also, the Lawless Forget the Filler lip mask. You can see how little I have of this one left, and I always have another on backup. This lip mask is always at my bedside. I feel like it does such a marvelous job of filling in fine lines, adding a cloak of hydration, and it lasts all night long on my lips. So in the morning I wake up, I still have a little bit of sheen and my lips are pillowy soft and hydrated. So this is in the shade Sweet Dreams. It does come in an array of shades, but it's really meant to be more of a treatment than it is a color. So this Sweet Dreams shade is essentially clear. One more skincare product that I wanted to mention is the Shani Darden Hydration Peptide Cream. It's one kind of general skincare category that I get asked a lot about as a beauty writer. It's, do you have a good, just straightforward, skin nourishing moisturizer to recommend? And I do have a few that I love, but this one was newer. I think it's really innovative with the peptides. Peptides aren't new, but they are something that I think have been leveraged in an important way in skincare lately. This moisturizer is so pretty. Zero fragrance, lightweight, but still has a buttery feeling to it. It instantly absorbs, feels so good on the skin, and it's one of those moisturizers that's really taking care of business in terms of nourishing, healing, moisturizing, soothing in a way that's great for all skin types. So this is one that I feel very comfortable recommending when people are asking for a moisturizer in this category. And everything I've tried from Shani Darden has been really impressive, so I can't wait to see what she comes out with next, and definitely wanted to put this on your radar in the meanwhile. Bronzer and blush. This is kind of like the meat of this video. And for bronzer, first, I want to impress upon you the gloriousness of this Gucci bronzer. I've talked about it so many times in my videos because I have to say I was a little bit skeptical about it when I purchased it. I'd heard so many good things about it, but I just wondered if it was more just based on the beauty of the packaging and the luxury name, and certainly I love luxury makeup, but I wondered if the formula itself would be exceptional, and I'm happy to say it is. This is shade 3. You can see I've hit pan on it. I've had this one for nearly a year and it still has a good amount of product left. Shade number 3 is just a true tan brown. It's neither too warm nor too cool. I have tried 2, and I will say 2 is darker than 3, which is counterintuitive, and it's also a little more rosy, if you will. It takes a little more finessing for me to make it look right on my complexion, but the 3 is just effortless, and I do imagine because it's so neutral, it will look great on a variety of skin tone. The Tower 28 Sculptino, this is in the shade Getty, which is a creamy neutral brown. It's designed to be used to, as the name would imply, sculpt the face. So when I use it, I actually just use my fingertips. I go in, I bring it through my nose here, across the perimeters of my face, hollows of the cheeks. I love how streamlined this packaging is. It's streamlined but secure. And this shade Getty is excellent for medium skin tone. It doesn't have a matte finish. It doesn't have any shimmer. It's truly a translucent buildable cream with flattering opacity, especially for a creamy contour, and very effortless to work with. Next is the iconic London Illuminator. This is in the shade Glow, and I feel like glow implies highlighter, and while this is luminous, it's definitely pigmented. A little goes a long way. Glow is a true kind of tan brown with radiance. And somehow, once you blend it into the face, and I would use it the same way I would another cream contour, even though this is a liquid, bring it through the face, pat it down with a sponge, and you get such beautiful flattering dimension and a fresh, very lightweight finish. Finally, and you've probably all seen this one many times over, this is the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand. This is a classic for a reason. It's just so easy to work with. Use this little sponge tip to apply it with precision, and then I buff it in with a sponge. Sephora Sale is a great time to pick up a couple backups of this, especially because it does sell out throughout the year. There's been times where they don't have it for like 6 months. For blush today, Hourglass Ambient Blush in Sublime Flush. I use it multiple times a week. I feel like it's the perfect cool lavender pink. I don't think it swatches as well and as impressively as it looks on the cheeks. That's all I can say about this color. It's like a dull pink that really brightens the complexion but still looks really natural. It has a hint of luminosity, and it's so fresh and lovely. So I always have one of these in my makeup bag. If I just had to travel with one blush, this is what I would grab. I always travel with more, but if I had to, this is what I would pick. This is the Too Faced Cloud Crush Blush in Candy Clouds. Full disclosure, I haven't purchased a Too Faced product for complexion in a really long time, but there was just something about this shade. I'm a sucker for a cool pink, and this one is pretty matte. It doesn't have really any luminosity, so I thought it would be a nice addition to the things I already own. And it's really nice with a fluffy brush just on the apples of your cheeks. It brightens things up. It's, I think, really fresh and pretty. It also has a little bit of a sweet smell, just like it makes the complexion kind of airbrushed. It does have a sweet smell. I haven't really used a blush with a pronounced fragrance in a long time. It doesn't bother me, but I'm also kind of like, I'm smelling this. I think that's a Too Faced thing. I like the color, and I really feel like a cool pink like this is fairly hard to find. I also love the Pillow Talk matte blush wands from Charlotte Tilbury. I picked up a peach and a pink one, and once again, with all of these shades, I have swatches on Beauty Professor. I shot them so that you can just look at them as static images, but these two were my favorite of the offerings in this. I, of course, love the really shimmery ones. The pink and the peach I've had for years. I use them. But sometimes when you just don't want as much luminosity, especially if your base is luminous, you're already using highlighter, these are great. They're like a buildable watercolor cream. Mix them together to get kind of like this corally, baby coral apricot look that I like to just tap in. You can also use a brush to stipple it onto the cheeks, but it's really natural in terms of the finish. It's called matte. I wouldn't call it matte. I think it's more of a skin finish, which I like. It doesn't get powdery, so I'm not a huge fan of creams that dry down as powders most of the time. This one doesn't do that. It just becomes kind of a veil of color. Speaking of veil of color, I am so excited to have received these iconic London Kissed by the Sun blushes. There are 5 shades available. I have all 5 swatched in the sunlight, how apropos, on Beauty Professor. I'm wearing So Cheeky right now, which is this glorious pink nude, warm pink nude. I don't know if these swatches are doing this justice. I have it, that's predominantly what's on my cheeks right now. It looks like a gorgeous kind of like suntan with some pink. I also was being really low maintenance before filming this video, and so I just used my fingertips to apply this exact same color on my eyes. And that's what's going on, a little liner, which I'll get to in a minute. But wow, I love this blush. It's silky, it's finely milled, it's got luminosity, but not obvious glitter or shimmery chunks. It's so sophisticated and just so radiant on the complexion. I'm thrilled. I like all 5 shades, but I really was drawn to this one. I think it's the most neutral and most effortless. I will be keeping this in my makeup bag going forward, which says everything. On to eyes. So the eye products I picked for this video are really limited, and I think that's because I tend to use eye products the least outside of mascara and a little liner. Then this Hourglass pencil in Solstice is fabulous. I am wearing that right now on my waterline and also just kind of smudged along my upper lash line on top of that blush that I was using in my eyes. And this pencil is just this truly neutral taupey brown. It's neither too dark or too light. Once you let it set, it does not budge. So give it about 7 to 10 seconds, I would say. And once that happens, then it does not go anywhere until you wash it off. Two mascaras I've been reaching for a lot lately are the Tower 28 Make Waves. I think I'm on my third tube at this point, and I am wearing it right now. I put some on much earlier today, and I actually added a little bit more for some drama right before filming, and I feel like it does well to kind of layer on itself. This one is not waterproof or even water resistant, but somehow it lasts for me. I don't have any issues with it flaking or smearing, and I feel like my eyes always make things flake and smear, so this one's excellent. I'm enjoying this one from YSL. It is a little less long lasting on me, but somehow still performs really well throughout the course of a long day. This one builds a lot of dramatic volume, and this brush is differently shaped than the Tower 28, so you do get kind of a different application. Here we have a curve, you can see, that kind of creates that openness and flutteriness, and this one is like all about building some intense dramatic false lash volume. And that's gonna do it for eyes, but now I want to get into lips. I've rediscovered a love for lip liner, lip pencil in the last year or two. I just feel like there's so many great formulations out there. I don't feel like my lip look is complete without some pencil. And one that was really on my radar is this Lip Injection Extreme Lip Shaper from Too Faced. Ordered 5 shades, well 6 because I ordered one for my mom. 5 shades, and I have the 5 that I swatched on Beauty Professor for you and also on my LTK, but I am so happy that I did because the shades are so neutral and lovely. They'll work with all my lipsticks. This is a click kind of mechanism. You can't bring it back down, so be mindful and conservative with the clicking. I haven't run into any issues yet. This shade is called Hot and Spicy. I'm wearing it now with another lipstick I'll discuss in a moment, but it's the one that I've been wearing most because it's just a great mid-tone neutral pinky brown. Perfect. It's perfect. And what I like about it is you get that tingling. It actually works to kind of swell the border of your lip where you're lining to give you a little extra plumping volume there, but nothing obvious, and in my experience, nothing painful whatsoever. If you don't like a little warmth as a la Too Faced lip injection, then this won't be for you. But if you don't mind it, then these are great, and I'm happy that I picked up the ones that I did because they've become staples in my lip routine. Another lip liner that I've been using a lot is this Buxom one. I really am a fan of a retractable lip liner because I don't feel like I need a super sharp pointy edge the way I put it on, and I also cannot stand trying to sharpen lip liners all day. I just feel like I put it on, I apply, I'm sharpening, it's too much. So this Buxom one has the liner on one side, this great brush on the other. This is in the shade Savvy Sienna, but I also have it in a few other shades, and I would just say that if you're looking, you can see it's a little browner than the latter. But if you're looking for just a nice, true neutral that gives your lips some creamy volume, this is excellent. No tingling on this one, but still a really creamy, full application. I've just opened up my new tube of this Armani Lip Power in shade 503. This is by far one of my favorite lip colors that I haven't made myself with a brand. So it is just creamy, neutral pink, not too light, not too dark, wears flawlessly. My lips look just full. It doesn't move, but it doesn't get dried out. I'm in love. I actually have 2 more on backup right now. That's how much I like this color. I'll just put a little more on so you can see here. It does have this triangle point, so you get a little precision. And I'm wearing it over the Too Faced Hot and Spicy liner. And I put a tiny, tiny bit of something luminous on top, which I'll show you. But you just get creamy, great color payoff. If I just have to throw a look together quickly, I'm doing a dark liner, I'm doing this lipstick. New Hourglass Unlocked lipsticks are really interesting to me. I like how creamy and opaque they are. This is in the shade Lotus, which I tried to track down for quite a while because it was consistently sold out online and in person. I finally found one in Kansas City when I was traveling there. I snapped it up because I just could not get my hands on this color, and it is the color that I like most. It's like warm, neutral pinky nude, but it's really quite pink actually. It's great over a brown liner or a nude brown liner. I have other shades in this formulation, but this is the one that's been in my makeup bag. Two more lip colors that I find really interesting. These are newer. These are the Makeup by Mario lipsticks. They're kind of like this cream that also has some luminosity, some transparent shine. This is the hot pink, this is the cool pink, and they couldn't be more different really outside of their names. Okay, see the difference there. Totally just like salmony pink, and this is a deep kind of rosewood pink. Both are really pretty. I think that if you just accept the formula for what it is, you're gonna get some color payoff, you're gonna get some shine. You will love this. They do really fill in the lines on the lips. I don't feel like I get particularly strong lasting power, but that's okay. If I go into it knowing I'm going to reapply, it doesn't bother me at all. And I think it's a really pretty finish. It's different than a lot of things that I currently own, so I love it for that. Finally, this is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump. Certainly a favorite in the beauty community. I have it here in White Peach, which was the color I tried to get over the summer, but it was often sold out. It's just this creamy beige, so pretty. It does give a slight plumping, tingling effect, nothing uncomfortable, but that's the other color that I had on my lips filming this video. I get right in here. Got that. It adds kind of pillowy dimension. It's really pretty just with a dark lip liner as well. So if you can get your hands on this color, I think it's special and unique and flattering on a lot of skin tones. And so concludes my recommendations. I hope I'm not missing anything. I'll add anything else that I might have forgotten but really should have included in my LTK, also on Instagram and Instagram stories. So stay tuned. I'll probably do some updates, but I am really happy with the list that I'm showing you guys today. And I hope you found it interesting and helpful as you embark into Sephora sale season. So I'll make sure to put the details for the sale, which I'm sure you've seen ad nauseum everywhere, but I'll put them in the details box for convenience. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what stood out to you, please. And also if there's something that I need to have on my radar that I might not have talked about or picked up that I would love, because you know I would love it. So please tell me in the comments. I'll be monitoring comments a lot over the next few days. I'm just so grateful that you're here. More video content to come soon. In the meanwhile, don't forget to visit me at Beauty Professor, which can be found at beautyprofessor.com. Take care.